What is good, rookies, and welcome to our round 18 team update. Again, the one video a week just to keep things rolling and be a bit more to the point. Coming to the end of the season, no more buy rounds, maybe no trades left. We're scraping. It is still chaotic no matter how we look at the season. It does not matter if it is the start of the season, mid-season, or coming to the home stretch. There's just chaos everywhere this season. I think I don't know how we're going to not get PTSD from this season, but we're going to jump into our review. We're slipping. We've let go. We're chucking on a bit of extra fat, bit of extra weight than we want to with our rank. But I do think we can nail this back to the top, maybe 3%. Maybe I'll digress from the 1%, unless we get struck with some really, really good fortune and luck with our trades. But 2206, nothing that we were expected to hit. We were projected over a 2400. And we did make some very rogue trades if you did follow myself on Twitter. So just inside the top 6%, just outside the top 11K. Bounce back week, hopefully. we'll see what happens, but let's have a look at the team and see what happens. So we went a bit rogue with our VC. Now, we didn't have a Bont or someone to rely on for the early one. We could have gone a Sherry for a 126, which probably seemed like the most, logical sense there. But again, the risk that we kind of take with following the trends with VC and Cs, we kind of stay with the pack, and we're trying to really separate ourselves a little bit. Didn't play out this week, but it's the same play we need to make every week to try and recoup some ranks. So we're not veering from the plan. It just didn't work as expected. So, Primo's not doing Primo things. Dale, again, had Campbell 2 weeks ago. Then last week had Constanti. Don't know what this tag thing is. So Dale got them moved forward because they could see what was happening. And Bevo did Bevo things. And more often than not, surprisingly, Bevo acknowledged the Supercoach community. But the way he phrased it is if he's actually been paying attention, because he did use the phrase, are going to be mad or not happy at me again. So take that with what you will. He knows we exist. So it's a purposeful Bevo when he does it now. But Dale didn't do all the good things. Whitfield, we had to hold. We're not wasting a trade. I think he's still very, very viable. Just needs to pass the test, the fitness test to come in. But by all reports, has been training in the main session with no issues. So seems to be good to go. Sheasel kind of got lucky with this. I think LDU going out with that concussion, thank you, Richards, kind of forced him to go into the midfield out of desperation for someone to play that role. So that worked out quite well. Richards himself, so he also copped a hit, and we thought it might have been a shoulder injury, but he ended up going down the rubes, coming up and pretty much going straight back on the field. So I was scared. I was really scared. I was like, oh no. My beautiful man, my Richards, has done himself in for the rest of the season after these tremendous scores. I mean, we had now his 2 worst weeks. He's done twice before, so maybe we see a bounce back, hopefully, because he's kind of our anti-Bont pick, because they're relatively around the same point, I believe at least, and that's the hill I'm going to die on. But yeah, Sheasel did enough. Mills, great. McCarthy, great. 82, we'll take that. A Clark, a 61, which we had to bring on field for Whitfield. And then we had Holmes, who was an absolute butcher of the ball. Couldn't hit the side of Jez's, farm barn on his, big lots of land. This sort of thing is just what can happen sometimes. By all means, if his DE was like 15% better, this would have been even a 120. But it could have been so much more if his DE percentage was a lot cleaner. Just one of those things that happens. Bailey Smith was also laid out, so I did hear rumors of people trading him out. Really interesting. Obviously, to make a play for kicking up ranks this week as well. So if it works for you, well, works for you. But I hope you got the trades to get him back in, because that run home is juicy. So backline, it kind of just did what it needed to. Very annoyed at Dale for these 2 back-to-back poor scores. Dacos doing Dacos things. Green, 105. Expected him to do a lot more. Callahan just had that name. Had the game to himself. Like, Callahan was the name. But took everything, every Supercoach point possible, went to Callahan. So really interesting there. We traded in Tuke Miller. So we needed to go potty. We need to go different. And he's been really consistent most of this season. I had him last season. Really loved the pick. So I went, you know what? Let me tie back into my roots here from last season and get someone in for the run home. Not going to get tagged. Can just really pop off. And, you know, had quietly and not quietly, had a really good first quarter, even first half. And then just kind of got quieter as the game went on. But a 119 on debut, will 100% take that. Richards a 95. Again, this probably could have been his standard 110, 115. Just spent some time on the pine. And I think Bont was taking a bit of the show as it is. Dunkley a 93. So Dunkley's really interesting. First quarter, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that he pretty much played like full forward. Like he was playing in the pocket. But he then got rotated into some mid. So a 93 is not bad at all. He's very versatile and he is a really good contested mark. So it's no wonder why they want to send him in the forward line. You can't really blame them. So not an issue per se, but just a scary watch. Sinclair is a scary watch though. I don't know what's happening. There's the heat map and the role seems to be kind of there still. It's just Naz has just taken the keys to the city essentially and gone nuts. So Naz had a massive game. Sinclair did not for like the third week in a row. Really shocking. Gerard, just another pretty much standard game from him. 89 is like a decent floor in a general game. So we take that. And then we also got in Bergman as a pick. So Bergman's been quietly pretty good. We've mentioned him a few times where he can give you a 120 or he can give you a 60. I'm taking a bet on it being a bit more potty, that you can kind of keep up with the likes of Rosie and Butters. And he kept up with Butters. Rosie ended up popping off a little bit. Is what it is. Gone. Kind of knew this was coming, just a poor score. Jerry, 126. Obviously didn't, went into the rooms at like 12 minutes left and then just didn't pop his head back up. Passed concussion protocols by all reports, and we do believe that he will play. So we've actually got Gorn versus Sherry this week. So that'll be an awesome nullification of maybe 105s for each of them. There we go. Again, Smith was laid out due to illness. We can all speculate if it was illness or due to some ongoings the night before, but we'll see what happens. Track, abysmal. Just abysmal. I don't know what's going on there. I really could antipod him. Darcy, just key forward problems. Kicked an absolute bag in the last half, last quarter in particular. The scaling and the points just weren't happening, and this is just criminal data being criminal data. Rankin popped off, so that was really nice. Some, payment of the faith. So really happy with that. Warner did perfectly enough, and Daniel, again, I think just did enough. But McKercher is turning into an absolute amazing pick for the price that we got him at. So very happy with that. So it's really like our captaincy let us down. Less, 50 odd points down on there, which wouldn't have saved our score. But having to cop Whitfield and Smith and not having cover for Smith just meant we took all points that were available essentially. So reports on that Smith will be back, but we'll see what happens. We're going to jump into injuries. The main one being Cardwell. So if you do have Cardwell, it is being quoted as kind of like a season-ending injury. He kind of got locked up in that tackle. I believe it was with Anderson. And it's just, he's going to get surgery on his foot. We'll have a look at it in more detail. Crouched Potato seems to be one more week away. So we'll see how that kind of affects the midfield mix there. Does Peatling now move back to more of a forward role? How does Rankin fare with that? Rankin's been pretty horrible, outside of that. So maybe Rankin gets back into some positive midfield minutes, maybe. It's going to be interesting to see how that balance changes, or if Adelaide even stay competitive with Crouch back. So I think a lot of people aren't a fan of him. Rochelli's also kind of re-injured himself. Obviously got subbed out 2 weeks ago, and then got subbed out again this week. So we'll see what happens there. Nothing too crazy for Brisbane. So everyone seems to be back. So we'll see what happens with the lineup. Big selection pressure there for the Brisbane Lions. For Carlton, there's nothing really crazy. Walsh is still 3 weeks away. You got Mackay still 1 to 2. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. Silvani's 1 week, so no major changes for Carlton this week, I believe. So it is what it is. For Collingwood, the guy is still TBC. We've got McCleary 1 to 2. And then we've got Schultz on the test, which will be all right. So it is what it is. Now, again, the main one. So we've got ankles 6 to 8 weeks. So we can see that we still have Reid away, season done. Redmond is a test, so could see him come back into the team With Reed not coming back, you imagine Johnson probably stays. I'm not sure who gets the boot though. If you have a Clark, I think he's relatively safe because he's quite versatile. But Johnson potentially still gets it. But there's a few rooks in the squad that could potentially go. For Freo, Simpson's 2 weeks away if you hold on to him. Young is 1 week, and Sokowski is a test. So with Will Brodie as well. Not that it really matters, but nothing too crazy there as well. For Geelong, Duncan's TBC reported that he's done a bit of an injury there to his shoulder. Not what you want to hear. So they'll be looking to rest him and get him ready for even just the vest for the finals run. De Koning is a test. That's probably good for the Geelong's back line. Guthrie's still 2 to 3. And yeah, it's just, Polo's just not coming back. It's indefinite. Not coming back. So you can't really help that. Nothing crazy for the Suns. For the Giants, Buckley's a test. We've got Hogan as a test, which would be a massive in. And Whitfield is a test. So big tests coming in for the Giants squad, which is what we're hoping for. We need Whitfield back, please. Butler, for those that bought the rookie and are holding, just a 1 week, so hopefully he finds a way back into the squad. Outside of that, Weddle is TBC as well. So we should see relatively normal Hawks squad for this week. Aiden Johnson, our boy, is 1 week away, so hopefully he somehow finds a way back into the team. I'm assuming he'll go back through the VFL, unless they really want to, they liked him in the team. We'll see what happens. The major one for North is LDU, so he's 1 to 2. Might be a hold if you have the cover, but it might be worth a trade out, potentially moving him on. But Parker is a test, McDonald's a test, Larky's a test, and Comben's a test. So it could be some pretty massive inclusions this week. Wardlaw's still 1 week away. Now, some unfortunate injuries for Port. So we had Radigal season ending, Pepper season ending. It's just, really, really bad. So what does this mean for, because this is a forward, which they could probably bring in someone to replace that. Radical is probably the harder one to replace. Does a Finlayson now come back into the picture? You'd imagine so. He's always probably the one to pick up because he's quite versatile. So you imagine Finlayson would come in. Bergman might get more time in the defensive half with Radical out potentially. So we'll see what happens. For Richmond, this list is massive. Gray is a test, so that's interesting if we hold on to him. Lalo is season, so just unfortunate. Good to see Paddy go to him though. So again, McAuliffe 1 to 2. Samson Ryan TBC, Smiley 1 to 2. Yeah, Gray's and Armstrong. So Armstrong's finally coming back. So that's actually probably a nice inclusion for Tigers if they can get past his test. Nothing else crazy. We've got Webster. Philippu's still 3. Cordy's a test. Nothing too crazy there. Adams is still 2 to 4 for Sydney. Marty going with a hamstring. Bice is a test. Taylor Mitchell, I think that's a rookie, is a test as well. Just Rampy out. Paffley back out again. Just injuries are just shocking this year. And nothing too crazy for West Coast, and nothing too crazy for updates regarding Bulldogs. Still the likely name of Treloar being out for, you would imagine, the season. So it is what it is. For trades, now we have 2 left. We could absolutely send it, and we could get rid of like Chera, for example. We could do many things to try and get in some unlikely options. So when we look at like players that we could potentially move to, if we look at, for example, we need pods. So if we just look at coach's choice in the top 1%, we go to own, like almost 90% of teams in the top 1% have Bont. That's a scary antipod. 84 have Butters. 80% have Rosie. Like there's a few main plays that we're missing, like Naz, for example. Dawson I'm not too mad about, or McRae, or Clark. Those are fine, but we need to try and find a way to get in like a Bont or a Rosie. Rosie is much cheaper, 20-ish K cheaper than Bontempelli. So if we're going to bring in anyone, it might be Rosie, but we may just have to sit on our hands given the chaos that we keep seeing. So we could make a move to, go Chera and Gray to maybe like a Stevens if he keeps up a bit of a run, and then get Chera to Rosie, for example, and kind of play that game. And then at least this way we can kind of rotate Johnson and McCarthy, which seem to be a bit more fruitful roles, and kind of loop their scores a little bit. So we can try to play that game. There's lots of options. What I will do is if this video gets 50 likes, I will burn my last 2 trades. Because at this stage, I just want to have fun with it. So if this video gets 50 likes, it's nothing too crazy. 50 likes and I burn my 2 trades. I know my man Ghosty is looking to burn his 2 trades too. But I don't, while it's fun to do so, I could flip a coin. So if the video gets 50, we'll burn the last 2 trades. And then what we'll even do, 50, we'll burn the trades and I'll get in who I want. 80 likes on the video, and I will put a poll up of a few select plays, and whoever you guys select as the main trade in is who I'll grab. So with all that in mind, if you guys want to have a say to who gets selected, if the video gets 80 likes, comment down who you want as a part of that. And then we might even do a wheel of names just to have a bit of fun with it. Community team by the end. Who really knows? So Supercoach wise, are you making trades? We'll see what is actually happening. So if we go to players and we go trades, people are trading in Merit for Cardwell. That makes sense. Shahanan just seems to be like a decent rookie option at the moment. Not sure on the job security or how often he's going to get games. People are trying to move to Gordon from Cardwell. Perfectly reasonable. And even Johnson to Stevens to open up some cash. So they're the most common trade outs. Yeah, Cardwell has to be up there. Roberts or DeConing has to be up there as well. All of these are fine. Same for Butler or Pal Pepper. Anyone that has a season-long injury, get them out. Trade-ins though, just some rookies to open up some cash. Totally fine. Could be some healthy bench cover. Merritt does look, he does look like he's going to get midfield minutes, but does have a tough run. So please keep that in mind if you look at Merritt. He has potential tags coming, and it is a very, very tough run. Goulden, however, I have no issues with. Go for your life. Oscar Adams, clearly just a cash opener. Liver, I still don't mind. I think he's a great kind of alternative if you can't get to Bont. He's quite cheap. We might even pick him up ourselves. He could be an option. Rosie, I really like. Naz, I really like. Rankin, I don't know if you need to jump into him or McRae. These ones I'm kind of F about, but Naz, 100%. Rosie, 100%. Liver, 60%. Gildan, 100%. And I'm like 40% on Merit. It's a risk. 100% a risk. But if you guys are making trades this week, definitely let me know down in the comments below. Are you burning your last 2 trades or your last few trades to get your team done and have some healthy bench cover? Are you holding on for dear life to your last 2 or 3 or 4 for injuries? Let me know what's happening, because I'm very curious to see what you guys are doing in the community. As I said, this video gets 50 likes, we'll burn our 2 trades and I'll just get in who I want. This video gets 80 likes, I will generate a list of 4 players from suggestions from below, and then I'll put a poll up on X that you guys can choose. Sounds pretty good to finish my team for me, because I really couldn't care at this point. We're either going to go up with the player that you guys choose, or we're not. And it's still going to be on me, because look at this team, man. Come on. It's ridiculous. But that's the Supercoach segment. We're going to quickly jump into Game Day Squad and just see how we went. So if you are here for Supercoach, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like on the way out, just so we can reach that goal. For the Game Day Squad, fellows, we didn't do too bad. We left Bailey Smith on the field. We totally forgot that we had him on field because he had his bye last week. So copped a 0 there, but otherwise we actually did pretty good. So now private league for the round, I scored 25-24, which actually could have been much higher. I probably could have been sitting around maybe 5th or 6th, maybe. But Basilicious is absolutely killing it. Spud Guns is up there. Joe 90 absolutely smashing it. So then for the season, again, Basilicious smashing us. Big boys. Cheese with Cheezels. X is killing it too. Joe, look at me up there at 6th place. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad. Again, if you guys aren't sure what this is, you can use code ROOKIE at sign up to get 3 9-player common packs. If you guys have used that code previously and you still see the Game Day Squad stuff and you haven't made a team, it's very, very easy. All you have to do is log into your account, go competitions. When you come up to here, all you need to do is select contender and then just fill out a team. If you fill out your team with your best cards and just see how you go. Very, very important that we make the teams, because you can win packs just by having a team included. It's really that simple. So make sure if you guys have used the code, you go make the team. And I just want to see what you guys are doing for your team. So make sure you tag me on Twitter and whatnot with like your team rolling into this round. This is most likely my team rolling into this round. So we've got Silver Whitfield, Silver Holmes, Silver Gordon, Dawson, and Dacos with a Brayshaw, with a Gold Richards and a Bronze Bont. We're going Gorney and Sherry, but we could honestly throw in a Grundy here just to try and help make a point of difference. Our forward line, I don't mind. Our main thing is our Gold Jackson. So while we don't want Jackson to go massive in Supercoach, I kind of want him to go massive for Game Day Squad. It's such a give and take relationship. But in our reserves, we can actually see we've got some quite nice players. So we've got a Gold Heaney in waiting for easy matchups. We've got a Lockie Ash, which we had last week. We've got a Rao, which has been pretty good. Silver Gorn, Silver English. Yeah, there's a few cool players. Even the Gold Atkins looks nuts. So there's a few players that we can throw in here. But for the moment, I do like these matchups for the time being. Now, in case you guys haven't done it yet, make sure you guys go have a look at the trade block. You got bronze, you got golds, you got silvers. You can make moves with them. Again, in my player base at the moment, I do have a few just from opening packs. Like I got a Jack Martin, which I could put out there for a trade. Who else have I got here? Anyone worth trading? Silver Setterfield's pretty good. I could trade Rao. Who have we got? Campbell Gray I might hold on to. Gold Darcy Fort looks all right. We've got a Warner, a Neal, Allen, a Brayshaw that we have, a Whitfield that's already in our team, a Spark. Like there's so many different ways that we could potentially try and trade these players out to even get in some like highly chased bronzes like a Butters or a Rosie or a Dawson. There's so many things you can do. But this is going to be our team rolling into round 18. I can't believe it's round 18 already. That's crazy. Again, main video, 22-ish minutes. I think that sums up everything pretty well. So again, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Go use the code Rookie if you haven't signed up to Game Day Squad already. Help support the channel, help support me, and shows me you like it. Also, just give me feedback on the Game Day Squad stuff. If you jump into the platform and you haven't made a team, let me know why. What pushed you away from the platform? What made you not want to make a team? Was it confusing on how to do it? Did you not understand it? Let me know, because I'm very, very keen to like pass the feedback on to the guys and kind of improve this platform along with you guys. And yeah, you guys are on this journey with me. I've not played this before, we started doing things together on the channel. So very much a team effort here. So with all that said, thank you so much for all the support. Don't forget to leave a like on the video on your way out. 50 likes, we'll burn our 2 trades in Supercoach. 80 likes, you guys get to say who we trade in. And make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already. Few things coming up this week. So we will be doing a piece of content with Game Day Squad on Thursday. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And of course, there will be After Dark on Saturday night. Will Brad join us, or will the hot seat be passed along to someone else? So keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll see you guys during the week. Thanks.